All right, so another Let's Talk video, and we're going to go into a topic that I've gone over a few times over again on this channel before, but we're not going to go into exactly what I have gone into before. So, where are we going at? There is another part of the gaming industry that every once in a while something pops up where it is and actually this is something that I really need to start looking more into and actually keeping in tabs with more, because this is not rumors, this is not leaker mill stuff, this is actually just information that is publicly available. So it is anytime they have a stock exchange release, a business, so a lot of times you'll have the investors do a call in and they do a conference call, which is actually public knowledge. You can listen in on the call sometimes. You can get a transcript of what exactly was said in the call. And this is where a lot of your rumor mill, leaker mill people get a lot of their information from, because they just keep tabs on all the behind the scenes stuff like that. Now, me, I really, over the years, I could have really more kept tabs on all this stuff, but I just didn't want to, because I just didn't want to destroy the mystery of it. The problem is that now we have websites like Game Informer, which I've loved the Game Informer. I have stacks of the magazines from yesteryears and everything. But every publication like a Game Informer, like all your PlayStation, your Xbox, your PC gamer oriented sites and everything that are just trying to get as much clicks on any piece of information that they can on social media and whatnot. So whether it's a search engine or social media, everybody just takes the information. Actually, it was a Game Informer. It wasn't even IGN. Normally, it's IGN that just like throws everything out there, and you're just like, well, whatever. There's so much for that game, being a surprise launch, because that's the one thing that I find that is like very dead and missing from gaming now, especially with Summer Games Fest and all the showcases, and we're probably gonna have a State of Play coming up very soon in June. June is the video game Christmas season. It's where every single company throws their biggest trailers and everything on the table. Now, with that being said, there's more than likely going to be stuff that is, basically kind of spoiled in conference calls. And now, instead of it just being relative to the conference call, now it's just being widespread across the internet. So, again, to me, it's just the mystery and surprise. Like, oh, there is a surprise announcement at Summer Games Fest or the Game Awards or a State of Play or something. And we're so much like missing that now, because everything just gets blah. Everybody just throws all the information out on the table. So because everybody else is just doing it and there is really no way of getting around it, I've really tried to keep this channel a beacon of like, the surprise and mystery of when a trailer drops that I did not know about is just like, oh, that's so cool. You see me just lose my mind when the Mass Effect, future Mass Effect title that they haven't really said what it exactly is, was announced. I've lost my mind at Resident Evils and such. So yeah, with that being said, we're going to look into a little bit of something. So this is like the prime example of one of these conference calls things that everybody gets their information from. So franchise strategy clarified by the Control Publishing Rights acquisition. So this is Remedy's website itself. You can go on there and just look at like, what are they up to? What are they doing? So this has a lot of like revenue stream information in it too, so you can see whether or not a company is doing well financially. But this also one of the actual good pieces of information that comes from all this stuff is you can kind of keep tabs on the gaming industry overall, whether or not the gaming industry is actually going through a flux of like, are we losing money? Are we making money? Are games really selling as well as they say they are? You can kind of fact check the PR teams and the marketing teams in that aspect of like, oh, we have 100 million player base or whatever on a game, and with these conference calls, they can't, these are their shareholders. They cannot lie to their shareholders about what they got going. If they do, they can get into a lot of trouble. So you can actually kind of, just kind of fact check them in a sense. So, trying to read all this stuff though. So revenue increased by 56% to to Euro 10.8. Again, this is not my wheelhouse to be reading all this stuff. Actually, what is in my wheelhouse is down a little bit further in this. So I'm not even going to try and make heads or tails of all the numbers data. This is like this is business oriented stuff that is, somebody else's team would be working on this stuff. What my whole thing is so comments by CEO. In February, we took a significant strategic step by acquiring full rights to the Control franchise from 505 Games for maximum purchase price of 17 million euro. So that's huge. That again, this is my wheelhouse. So that's actually very, very big and huge news right there, because now essentially where yes, they are losing the kind of the funding of 505 Games unless they keep them on. That could have been part of it too. I thought 505 Games was, I guess they are, apparently they're a publisher. I thought 505 Games was, let's just check this real quick. 505 Games, Italian publisher based in Milan. It is a publisher. I thought it was a development studio. Okay, subsidiary of Milan Digio Bros. That's why I thought they were a developer, not a publisher. But okay, they are publishers. Cool. So they are probably going to lose the help of 505 Games when it comes to publishing. So that means marketing and, also a little extra chunk of change could be lost there for upgrading systems and cameras and everything. But it seems like Remedy themselves, they have already upgraded their studio setup so much to the point where they have one of the best looking games with Alan Wake 2 on the market. So for right now, they don't actually need 505 Games. So this just makes it so if they are acquiring full rights to the Control franchise from 505 Games, that means they have full creative control over everything. If they want to do something that has blood, guts, and gore, they can go ahead and do it without having to ask permission. If they want to do something that is microtransaction stuff, they can go ahead and do that. If they want to do something that's an NFT, they can go ahead and do that. It all, they have free reign to do whatever good or bad that they want to do with their franchises. That's a good thing. Sometimes can be a bad thing, but I'm pretty sure they got a pretty solid roundtable of everyone that's running the company right now, including Sam Lake, that's making a lot of decisions on creative directions and such. At the same time, we made the first of 3 payments, which had a 3.8 million negative impact on our cash position. So with the buyout comes a lot of recoup costs, and that's the reason why I think that might be the reason why they're doing it now, because they just upgraded all their tech, so buy their licenses out, and now they have, again, free reign to do whatever they want. The next payments are expected to take place in the later half of 24 and 25. Thanks to the Control acquisition, we can now freely decide on the future of the 2 established franchises, Control and Alan Wake. So it's funny that they're just talking about Control and Alan Wake here, because yes, that is 2 major things for Remedy, but at the same time, where's Max Payne in this? We are currently weighing self-publishing and related business models. Simultaneously, we are actively looking into different partner publishing models and evaluating potential partners. So what this whole thing right here is well, actually, even more so, this whole 2 lines right here. So what that's telling me is you could see possibly Alan Wake, Max Payne, Control, all that stuff. It is on Game Pass so far right now. You could probably see those, if they wanted to put all these older titles onto PlayStation Plus tiers, Game Pass, put them onto Epic Game Store for free games of that stuff, put them on sale more often, which they are on sale a lot of times, pretty often as is. But now they can just do it without having to ask 505 Games permission. So again, you could also crossovers too. If they want to take Alan Wake and put him into a fighting game or something, I don't know, or Control, Jesse from Control there, they could do whatever they want to, put them in an MMO if they wanted to. They have full reign control of what they can do with the characters now. In February 24, Remedy announced that Alan Wake 2 has sold 1.3 million units as of the beginning of February. So 1.3 million units sounds pretty good, but in the grand scheme of things of how much it costs to make the game, let's see. Alan Wake 2 sales have continued with high average price at the end of the first quarter. And again, this right here is because it's word of mouth. Like Alan Wake 2, for me, the opening of it, I think the first few chapters was rough because it was so damn slow, and Alan Wake 2 is not like a straight up like shoot 'em up like the first game was, and like Max Payne is, and like Control is. It was more of like, NCSI meets kind of, horror stuff, and it kind of bored me out, and to the point where it's like after the first three chapters, I was like, do I really even? I just don't know if I like Alan Wake 2, and then it started to kind of pick up afterwards. So if I had that experience, and I know what Alan Wake is, for other people who have no idea what Alan Wake is, that could leave a sour taste in their mouth, and they just go, I just don't like that franchise anymore. Alan Wake 2 does not sell in the long run. What we're seeing here is word of mouth happened, and so we're seeing 1.3 million units as of February. That's a good sign. That's word of mouth. Majority of everyone liked it. That's cool. That's good. Whether I like it or not, I don't really care. It's if everyone else likes it and it sells well, and that means you can end up having an Alan Wake 3. Nice. High average price. At the end of the first quarter, the game had recouped a significant part of development and marketing expenses. So they still are in negative on the development of Alan Wake 2, funny enough. But it recouped enough to where it's like, okay, this is good. And then on top of that, they also just bought out the licenses. So again, Remedy right now is spending a lot of money, some of which they are losing out on. They are in the negative still from all the business. And this is something that we've been seeing over the course of the last few years, where every company is going through this. And you wonder why there's so many mass layoffs. Well, if you take a look into the business behind the scenes, that's a major reason why. During the first quarter, the team focused on working on the DLC that will extend Alan Wake 2. So again, right there is a huge giant spoiler. This has not been announced. There's no trailers or anything, and maybe in the season pass it got announced. But yes, there is going to be story DLC of some kind, or something of DLC that will extend Alan Wake 2. So I'm guessing that's probably story DLC because it's a story-driven game. In the first quarter of 24, revenue was higher compared to a year ago. Development fees increased, though, from the comparison period. So yes, they are making, the games are selling more, but it's also costing way more to make them. So again, you're still in the negative there, mainly due to higher development fees for Max Payne 1 and 2 Remake. Now, depending on contracts and such of, talents and all that, James McCaffrey, R.I.P. James McCaffrey, who is Max Payne. He was also just in Alan Wake 2 as Casey. So that probably, because James McCaffrey just passed away, that's probably going to throw a whole wrench into the works of like, do we recast Max Payne? Do we even dare recast Max Payne? Do we hire someone who sounds like him? Do we use AI to maybe, finish out whatever James didn't get quite done and such? It's definitely, when it comes down to, when I'm seeing this, my brain's going over to the development side of like, man, how do we finish the project if literally the main guy that is Max Payne is not there anymore? Also, did they recast Mona Sachs? Because there's two different Monas. What's the this is the reason why it's like, man, at this point, we know Max Payne 1 and 2 remakes are happening, and it kind of sucks that we know it's happening, because now we lose the whole like surprise of the trailer dropping. It's like, oh fuck, that's Max Payne. Oh my god, they did it. Like, that's gone. That is just done. Now it's like, okay, so now, okay, that's Max Payne. We know this is happening. What's it look like? And that's kind of where the industry is at with this stuff now. It's like, instead of having the whole like hyped up, oh my god, the excitement is there. Now it's just like, okay, what's it look like? Oh, that looks really cool. it's not on the same level of hype and excitement. And that's one thing I'm majorly missing in the gaming industry now. So Alan Wake 2 did not yet generate royalty revenue in the first quarter of our operation. Profit improving compared to a year ago. The operating cash flow was positive, and at the quarter we had 17 million euros. Yes, because Remedy is over in Poland or something. I forget exactly where, Sweden or Poland, or it's somewhere over in Europe. So all of their earnings is in euros. So again, that's the reason why I'm just like not even trying to do the math on all this stuff. The equivalent with additional 10.4 million invested in financial instruments. Okay, so they spent $10 million upgrading their cameras, their for face captures to mocap studios to they just like Remedy just like doubled in the size. I do believe they just did a bunch of upgrades for Remedy Studios to be able to make Alan Wake 2 and everything, Alan Wake 2 and Max Payne 1 2 remakes, lots of numbers, to make those be on the same level as one another, and to make them just like where everybody's just losing their mind, losing their shit. Like Max Payne 1 2 remakes Max Payne, James McCaffrey's voice, and all that aside, like Max Payne 1 2 remake could be super, super cool. Just the way that like we're bringing back the Matrix kind of technology where you're like doing all that stuff and everything, hopefully. Or they might just get rid of that altogether. I'm really hoping they keep Max Payne with all the bullet time stuff and everything, because that was like such a huge part of Max Payne. But we don't know. We don't know what it's going to actually look like. We don't know what it's actually going to be. So let's keep going here. Codename Condor. So this, again, whatever this is, a part of the Control franchise. Well, there goes the surprise of that. Oh shit, there's Control, spin-off Control game. Cool. Well, again, it's all laid out on the table because we can't keep things a secret anymore. Moved to full production, meaning it has reached the final development stage before a game is launched. So whatever this next thing of the Control franchise is, it's almost ready. So we'll probably end up seeing a surprise trailer of sorts, a surprise trailer, if you will. We'll probably end up seeing that at Summer Games Fest in a couple months in June. That's like Remedy's going to show up and they're going to be like, check this out. It has reached the final development based on wide internal playtests. We can see that the core loop is engaging, and the game the game brings a unique Remedy angle to the genre. So basically, Control 1 sold really well. Everybody liked it. Control 2 or Control Condor, whatever it, the game is, does a lot of the same stuff that Control does, but with a full on Remedy, like they can just do everything. Probably Remedy angle to the genre is just like the way that they have the video feeds in the game, like live action video mixed with the gameplay, which I love. I love seeing that. I think it's super cool seeing that stuff. Control 2 team has focused on finalizing the proof of concept stage. So Control 2 is basically they've gotten the storyline down, they've gotten the characters down, they've gotten concept arts down for the level designers to start working on level designing and making the maps and everything. In which the game world, game mechanics, and visual targets are proven. Okay, yeah, I need to, if I just read a little bit further, sorry, my brain goes, I know what that is. We expect the project to advance to the production readiness stage during the second quarter of 2024. Okay, so Control 2 is just in development. They're not nowhere near ready to show it off yet. So I'm thinking, like I said, I think we'll see a Control spinoff. That Control spinoff game is going to have the big hint teasery stuff of Control 2 at the end of it. All right. Again, you can just see the writing on the wall here, which sucks because that takes away, again, the big surprise at the end of Control. The big thing is going to be like, what is the surprise? There's going to be a surprise there because Control 2 is in the works. So Max Payne 1 2 remake continued in production readiness stage. The game is expected to move into full production during the second quarter of 2024. They haven't even... So this is, again... They are just trying to figure out, casting, which characters are showing back up, how does the game play, what game mechanics are in the game. Do we keep the bullet time stuff? Do we add something new in there? I'm probably thinking they might try and do something like, here's old game graphics, here's new game graphics at a flip of the button, like a lot of this, development studios do. Tomb Raider just did that. Yeah, what else would, do we go full on CGI cutscenes? Do we do the comic book, kind of novel thing? Do we keep it noir? Do we go full on like action version of Alan Wake 2, since everybody liked Alan Wake 2? Those are a lot of the questions that are going through this production readiness stage right now. They're trying to figure out what's the vibe of Max Payne going to be going forward, because Max Payne 3, which they'll probably retcon. let's be honest. They'll probably retcon Max Payne 3, but Max Payne 3 was a very different feeling Max Payne. It really didn't kind of feel like Max Payne, other than the soundtrack. And Max was a little bit, let's say, drunken retired cop. That was Max Payne. Where in Max Payne 1 and 2, he was pissed off, New York City, hard boiled, gonna kill everyone in my way. So do they go just full on with that, and they just retcon Max Payne 3? Do they redo Max Payne 3 with a remake and just redo the whole thing, almost like Final Fantasy 7 remake style? What is Max Payne going to be going forward? That's, and in all honesty, that makes me very nervous, because I don't know what they're going to do with it. So codename Kestrel continued in the concept stage. The team works to redefine game concept. So I'm thinking this is probably a brand new original title. After the control rights acquisition, we can freely choose the right model in which to grow our 2 franchises and expand the Remedy. Again, it makes me kind of nervous that they're only talking about 2 franchises and not 3. It's just right now is just Alan Wake and Control, and Max Payne. They don't know really if they're going to keep it around or not. That's what that's telling me. I'm like, oh man, if anything, I want all 3, but if I was to pick, like, Max Payne is my favorite. Everything that Remedy has done, Max Payne is just super awesome. You're in New York, you're doing the bullet time thing. It was the Matrix before they really had a solid Matrix game, and then the Matrix game happened, and it was basically just Max Payne. So yeah, and every other game too. Like Max Payne was one of the first ones where you shoot the sniper rifle and you see the bullet go flying and all that stuff. Like the camera's like circling around the bullet as it's flying. Just make Max Payne the coolest thing it can be. So Outlook 2024 unchanged. Remedy expects its revenue to increase from previous year, operating profits to improve. So now that they've bought in and they've upgraded all the studio stuff, now they're expecting that the revenue of game sales. So now that they've gotten all the hardware to be able to make all the software side, now they're expecting the software to pay off all the bills. So if Max Payne 1 and 2, they are betting, I bet you my money, they are betting on Max Payne 1 and 2 remakes to really sell well. So for all the ones that are like me, that are content creators, if we want to see Remedy do really well, we really need to get on Max Payne 1 and 2 remake and make sure that, we both fair but also promote those games as much as possible. And then also tell, Remedy, if anything is wrong with those games, tell them very quick and early, and, and not just scream at them like your game sucks or whatever, but actually have good criticism, constructive criticism, and, critically think of like, how would I want to see this be made right? That's crucial for the content creator side of things. Let's see here. So the revenue growth improvements meaningful depend on the choice between self-publishing and or choosing a new publishing partner for the games in the Control franchise, codename Condor, and Control 2. So they are possibly looking at, again, maybe Remedy partners with PlayStation and Control become, PS5 is the best selling platform that there is. Yes, there is a ton of people getting onto the PC bandwagon now, but the PlayStation 5 majority of people are still on the PlayStation 5 platform. So, they're going into the fifth year. And then we also have a PS5 Pro coming up. So that's going to, increase numbers there too. Again, so I would actually, for control wise, I would actually, business wise, I would look at probably trying to work something out with Sony and, make Control 2, maybe also codename Condor, be a PlayStation exclusive, and just go that route with it, because that's where you're going to get your biggest bang for buck. And then Sony, not only that, Sony will most likely actually help out if you need, financial wise, or Sony visual stage, and everything. So it's for mocap studios and all that stuff. Let's see here. Long-term business plan. We have established owned franchises, Control and Alan Wake, which are linked through the Remedy connected universe. Now, I'm not sold on this Remedy connected universe just quite yet. It is kind of cool seeing stuff pop up in both of the games and everything, but it feels like now that they've kind of pigeonholed themselves with the connected universe into a thing where, okay, well, if they want to break the rules of one universe, it kind of plays kind of weird with the rules of the other universe in a sense. I guess they can split that more so if they want to, since they do own it now. But I don't know. Growing and expanding these franchises will be a key part of our future. In addition, we work with a partner franchise, Max Payne, that was originally created by Remedy. Yes. So everybody says Max Payne is Rockstar. No, Remedy made Max Payne. Rockstar helped publish it. Rockstar helped basically Sam Lake when Sam didn't have the technology to make his vision happen. That's the reason why there was the novel type of situation for the cutscenes and everything, where it wasn't like full on cutscenes. It was just panels with a lot of soundscape happening and voice acting. Rockstar just helped out with that. They were just like, if you need the technology for anything, a mocap, whatever, that was the extent of Rockstar helping out with Max Payne. Now, Remedy overall made Max Payne. They developed it. Events after the end of the reporting period. Annual generated meeting adopted financial statements from 23. Again, this is like the higher ups. So these are all the people that are involved with Remedy that make the company tick, basically. These are the different shares that people own in Remedy. So again, these are the shareholders. So this whole thing of these people here are trying to make something very cool that makes us, the consumer, very happy. And if it sells well, then these people here are very happy. So everybody's trying to make each other happy, just in different ways. That's essentially the business model of every business in the world, including majorly the gaming industry. Let's see here. So this is actually all the different links and everything that you can use to hear the conference call happening and whatnot. They probably are not speaking English, so I'm not going to click on it. But they actually do have, to be able to get a hold of different organizations and everything. Again, I don't want to throw too much of the information up on the screen there. You can find it literally on their website if you just check around and everything. But yeah, interesting to say the least. Just check it in and looking at all this stuff. This was a 30-minute video. Holy shit. So yeah, the future of Remedy, and the reason why, again, it sucks to see, but I might actually start doing more videos like this where we check in on where, like, the different conference calls and all that. Again, it sucks just to see we could have had a very cool moment with Control where it's like, oh, there's a trailer for Control. I didn't see this coming or whatever. The problem is like, you have all these people that will go on, all these different social media accounts. They go on to these websites and they go, nope, here's this. Like Wario. I'd seen, what's it, Wario 94, 64, something like that, whatever that guy's name is, or the account's name is, I should say. they had all this information posted up on the Twitter like really quick. It's just, oh yep, here it is, ding, 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 and they had the screenshots and everything. So it was like a million people just, yep. Well, that trailer is not coming out. That's a surprise anymore. It's expected. And then the other thing of it too is another note on this is then people expect these trailers to drop in the next showcase and everything. Like I kind of was doing it to it, but I'm more or less being like, well, I'm thinking they'll probably have it ready for that. But there's people who are like, you better show me the trailer. If you don't, I'm gonna be mad. It's like, if it's not done, it's not done. Just because somebody posted some information onto social media does not mean that the actual company itself is ready to show the thing. Well, how dare you, Jeff Keighley, not show it at Summer Games Fest? How dare you, Remedy, not show it there? Da, 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 da. No, if it's not done, it's not done. That's just, it takes time and a lot of effort and a lot of hours and a lot of, sweat and tears and late nights and coffee and everything else to make these things happen and work. So anyways, I think that's a 30-minute video that is very needed right now on all this. Again, I'm probably going to start doing a little bit more of this stuff. I'm going to keep tabs on a little bit more of the things that are being made. I might actually look into like BioWare, see what the hell is going on with the next Mass Effect, because I don't know why we haven't seen the next Mass Effect yet. Like it's something like we've seen what a 30-second teaser, 10-second teaser. Like, where is it? What's happening? We've been waiting for 10 years for this in multiple consoles at this point. So anyways, that's going to do it for this one. I need to wrap this up. It's a 30-minute video. Yeah. Remedy looking like they are in a good spot. Yes. Don't be confused by like, oh, they're in the negative, they're doing bad. No, it takes money to make money. It takes money to make really cool products. They need to spend some cash to upgrade all their technology and everything, spend the time to pay it off. And then what it does is it forces them into a very good creative flow of like, okay, we got to make something really cool to be able to pay all this stuff off. We got to make something really cool that is going to sell really well, that everybody's really going to love and have a really good word of mouth about. So then we can pay the bills. So it kind of balances out. It's checks and balances in that aspect on the business side. But anyways, gonna end this video here. Make sure and hit the subscribe button, the bell, the thumbs up, all that good stuff. And yeah, I will be back with maybe some more videos, maybe some more Let's Talk videos like this, where we check out some of the behind the scenes stuff. And yeah. Again, I don't know so much about the financials part of everything, but I do know about the development side and how the teams are, kind of thinking, because that's what I nerd out on a lot. I hear a lot of behind the scenes developers talks. I try and listen to as many as possible because I love to see, okay, what is the smoke and mirrors and the genius magic that's happening behind the scenes to actually make all this stuff happen? Because there's so many different facets to every company, and there's so many different, things that go into just making one game. Whether it's a fun and successful game or if it's a very tragically terrible game, there's so many people working and involved on all this stuff. So, and multiple companies and, just departments and everything. So, yeah, it's cool seeing. It's just the mystery of it is gone. So anyways, that's going to do it. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. And as always, I will see you next time.